Don't take my word for it. Sellers, you need to start being more aware of your pricing. I have an open letter from our appraiser up in Sacramento. And we'll also talk about the Imagine Dragons home for sale in the Bay Area and Willow Glen home of the week. Willow Glen home of the week and the what is it? Oh, luxury home of the week and the 12 county check. Let's take a look. Go over here so you can see it bigger. The bassist for globally popular pop rock band selling Bay Area home for only $1.3 million. Well, I got some news for you on that one. Imagine Dragons, I don't know if you know them, but I'm not a big fan of theirs. But I didn't even know that they were local. But that just goes to show how much I know about pop bands. Ben McKee, bassist, is selling his house for $1.3 million. Now, here's the walkthrough here. It's listed for $1.3 million. It's 1.3 is 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,700 square feet, and it's really, really pretty. It's a really nice house. I wanted to show you this. Where is it? I thought I had this set up so that you can look at it. Oh, there it is. I'll come back and take a look at. We can take a look at this real quick. With there, I was going to do that. So you look at all of these houses here, and some will sell for that, right? I think it's underpriced for where it is. This one's 25. It sold for 1.7. Took 15 days. This one right here took 14 days to sell, or it's still active. Well, this is Virgo. Actually, I'm going to grab this real quick and bring this over here so I can look at it. Virgo. Active. But if you look at it, it's priced correctly. It's priced lower. And this is a great look. Now, if you take a look at this one right here, I'll come over here right quick. Offers are going to be set by tomorrow noon. And it's been on the market for 14 days. So this thing is underpriced for the value. Now you take a look at the house. It's a pretty house. It's really done well. It's got a great view. It's up in the mountains a little bit. But when you look at the CMA, the numbers, it shows that this thing's going to sell for close to $2 million, if not more, because of the celebrity on it, right? It has a story, and everything that has a celebrity story, any kind of history on it, will sell for more, period. Like Zuckerberg's house would sell for a whole lot more than a standard mansion, right? So yeah, you get the views, you get everything in this house. So this house, I'm going to guess that this sells out at about 2.5, maybe even 3. That's my guess. That said, if you want to go take a look at it, please let me know. We have to hurry because it'll go into contract by tomorrow. We'll take a look at it again next week. There you go. All right, that segment of this episode is brought to you by the Home Buyers Checklist. Download it. You'll see what I mean. It's a great value for you to understand what's going on in the market and when you compare house to house to house. This lets you really understand what you're buying and get you the best buy altogether. Open house to overpriced sellers. This is from Ryan Lundquist. He's an appraiser up in Sacramento. He does talks to a lot of real estate agents. He's my muse. He talks to me about his charts and all that stuff. So when I do charts on my Facebook, you'll see me do charts. It all comes from this guy. What he's talking about really is it's more common because you have a mindset saying my house is worth X, $10 million or $3 million. This McGee guy listened to his agent and said, hey, just sell my house, see what we can get for it, see what the market can bring. You can't be a market maker when you have a commodity house. Even though you put in $100,000 on a new kitchen, etc., when you're looking at houses are going to be compared to what you're competing against. If you have 5 houses that are about the same square footage and the same bedroom count, etc., they're going to look at your house versus other houses. Just like when you're looking at cars. I'm looking at buying my daughter a truck. She wants to buy a truck. So we're looking at a bunch of different trucks over the last couple of weeks. She's getting her license tomorrow, and hopefully, knock on wood. And, we're just learning what's out there and comparing. Buyers will do that. So if you say your house is worth $300,000 more than what it is, your house is going to sit, right? And you look at all these things right here, depending on the market, your house sells because of 3 different things: the market, condition, and location, period, right? If your house isn't as is fixer upper, like over here, I can show you that there's a couple that are listed a little bit lower. Well, I looked at a few other ones that were listed a lot lower. Like this one right here sold for $1 million, but it says it's 100 years old, but it's not really. It's about the same square footage, but it's older, it's beat up, it's higher up in the mountains, and there's a lot more to it. So when it's on market over 40 days, then you have less negotiating room as a seller, and it sits because it's overpriced. The buyers determine the market. That's what this letter is saying, right? Now, we don't have a ton of inventory, so it's still a seller's market. We go through that every week. Understand what buyers want. That's our job. That's why you hire us. You hire us to understand, create a demographic, create that ideal buyer, and market to them. And then we go and negotiate with them. And that's why we do this. You also use an agent because you want to have one arm's length on the negotiating side, because you get emotionally involved in selling your house. You're going to let more stuff go. So yeah, there you go. Concessions aren't your savior. Yeah, don't say, hey, we'll just give you credit for a carpet. Put the new carpet in. Well, why would I do that? They're just going to tear it out. Because people don't want to buy old ratty carpets. They don't want to buy a house with an old ratty carpet. They don't want to buy a house with a floor that needs to be redone. They don't want to buy a house with broken windows. They just don't. I mean, they do if they're going to do it, but they're not going to pay a premium for it. So get your head in the mindscape of knowing what you're competing against and price accordingly. I challenge you to read this letter and comment to me. Give me an idea what your thoughts are on this. And that segment is brought to you by the Home Inspection Checklist. Another free download. Just drop it down, figure it out. When you go to look at, you can even do this if you're not selling your house, because it's actually a great thing for you to go through and create a honey-do list. If you're thinking about selling in 3 or 4 years, it's good to have the mindset of getting around to it instead of rushing, trying to get everything done in 2 or 3 weeks. Then you'll be exhausted and tired, and it'll be just a horrible experience. If you know what you need to fix, this is what buyers look for. This is what inspectors will look for, and you can fix it up. And I can tell you right now, the answer is yes, you should disclose everything that you repair. Okay. Willow Glen House of the Week, Brace Ave. And the reason why I picked it is because it's walking distance to Lincoln Ave, which is the downtown, which is the Main Street USA for Willow Glen. This is a beautiful house. It's 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,300 square feet. And of course, it doesn't want to work for me today. Let's see if I can just refresh this real quick. Brace is right here. There we go. And guys, this is a great house for $1.5 million, right? You think, oh my God, it's so expensive, but it's not. This thing's going to sell pretty quick, honestly. I think it's going to go for a lot more. This thing is priced right for the area, for the location and the condition and it being a crazy market right now. This is pretty much all original, except for maybe the kitchen was updated, but the trim on it is nice. That's nice that they have it downstairs, a little basement. Let's get out of there, see if there's any kitchen. There you go. All right, luxury home of the week. And the reason why I chose this is because it's on Belvedere Island in Marin County. It's actually Napa. I went sailing on Friday and we sailed all through here. We went there and then down by here and then around Alcatraz, and we sailed. I think we sailed out of Marina Plaza. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we sailed by that, and I thought it was a really nice thing to take a look at. And this is a beautiful house, 5 bedrooms, 8.5 or 5 and 3 half baths, 5,300 square feet, built in 1968, and it is a stilt house. It's a stilt. I have to reload this thing again. There. Let's take a look at it. Sure. This is not my listing. It's a beautiful house. And if you're interested in looking at this, let me know. The only thing I don't like is this rotunda and this aquarium down here, but if you buy it, you can have it removed. Great views. That's all Sausalito. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Just absolutely stunning house. And this is down in my blog. If you want to take a look at the blog, go right ahead. So we're selling about 300 homes a week. This last week we had 247 put on market. We've had 4,000 homes get into contract. That means probably 4,000 have sold. And just this last week, we've had 185 go into contract. By far, Santa Clara is the fastest velocity county in the Bay Area. We've had 8.3 billion homes in volume sold. But I want to point this out. Alameda had this huge jump, 143. I think that's an anomaly. We'll come back to that next week, but I just wanted to point that out. Typically, homes sell for about 10% over. And as always, your best buy is Napa. Napa actually came up a little bit. Monterey it's 96%. So you get 4 cents off of every dollar when you buy a house in Napa compared to Santa Clara, where you're paying 8 cents more for every dollar. Santa Cruz is holding their own. Solano's doing well. Sonoma's doing well. There's just not a lot of new listings. They just don't have a ton of listings right now. And again, Napa has 634 homes that were listed so far this year. Not a ton. 350 homes were sold so far this year. That's half of the inventory versus that, where there's still 1,000 homes available. So either they went into contract or they fell out of contract, didn't sell, or there's 1,000 homes available for sale in Santa Clara County. There you go. That was an exciting one. All right. Today we talked about Imagine Dragons selling their home. Open letter to sellers from one of my appraisers. Just talk about what's going on in the market. Homes for sale in Willow, Glen, homes for sale luxury market, and what's going on all across the Bay Area. It's going to be a long week. It's going to be a beautiful week. If you're near the fire up in Sonoma, stay safe. I'm Vito with Abatano. We'll see you out there.